Welcome back to your final lesson of season 8's What the Pluck's Beauty School.
What's my finger?
I'm just in like,
He's
we're rounding it up.
teacher mode.
You're all about to graduate. How exciting. I hope you've enjoyed this season. We tried something new and we have had messages saying that people think this is the best season yet.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, just me and you. It's like old school, old times.
I mean, it's going to change in a second, but we'll get on to his guest.
Nah.
Yeah, but we've got a very exciting guest who we will introduce in a second. But this episode, you've got another lesson. It's not just us talking to a guest. You do have another lesson.
Yeah.
So we are going to be talking all about how we can equip beauty professionals with tools and strategies that they need in order to scale and grow their business. Because who's not about that life?
Who doesn't want to grow their business bigger? Absolutely. And we're in London.
Bigger's better.
Okay. And we are in London today. And
Yes.
if you are watching on YouTube, you will see that we have got an amazing background. Because it's actually Galentine's tonight. Isn't it? Well, Valentine's then.
Valentine's.
Well, you're still a gal, aren't
Keep
you?
your hands off. She's mine. But yeah, we are here and we'll share more about why we're here later. But we basically took over a full cinema.
We have.
So
I
we're
feel
feeling...
so exclusive.
I do. I feel really important.
I do.
For once in my life.
I know. Love it.
But we have got a very special guest. And today's guest is the one, the only, the co-founder, who is the co-founder to the brand that has skyrocketed. I'm teasing you guys. I'm teasing you. We have got the one and only Harry Dalton, the co-founder of Buff Browz. Give it up.
Woo! Go on, Harry.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
How are you? You all right?
I'm good.
Are
I'm
you
good.
scared? You can say yeah.
a little
It's fine.
bit, yeah,
it's
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Is
We're
this your
all
first
right.
podcast?
No.
Really?
Should have asked you that question off air. No.
Really?
No, I've done one via Zoom. That was.
Oh, but not in person.
No, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, this is the only one that matters.
And that's not just because he sponsors it.
Yeah. But we are going to be talking today all about how you guys can scale and grow your businesses. And, you know, everybody knows the scale that Buff Browz has had and the growth that they have
Crazy.
had.
Skyrocketed.
Was it 2020
Yep.
when you started?
June or August.
Was that lockdown?
Yep.
Oh,
So obviously, I own a company called Cosmetic Supplies in the PMU industry. Buff Browz started because Georgie decided in lockdown that she wanted to bring out some mapping tools for the PMU industry.
Mm-hmm.
That was Buff Browz. She kept hounding me. We obviously, money was a bit tight, but I had a bounce back loan that I could apply for. So I said, do you know what? I'll apply a 20 grand bounce back loan. You can have it and see what happens. So the first product she brought out was the Brow Definer, which we sold out instantly when I think Janine from Brow Jam did a video of her doing it on her daughter.
Yeah.
And we sold we had 100 people on the website as soon as that. Now for us at that point was huge.
Massive,
And also Buff Browz was sold directly through Cosmetic Supplies back at the start.
Yeah.
Didn't have its own website probably until May 2022, I think. But yeah, so that's how it started.
Wow, I can't believe that started from a bounce back loan. I wish I'd have used mine for that.
Well,
I can't believe as well that it all came from the most iconic product,
Yeah.
Brow Definer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one, but she had 10 products she wanted to do. And then they just slowly, and I was totally against the palette. I was totally against it.
Really?
I just, obviously, I'm not a beauty expert, but I was against it because it was a more expensive item.
Okay.
And I was like, really?
Do we need that?
But Georgie is very stubborn. Georgie's also amazing at content, and it just worked.
Yeah.
It just worked. So
And it has, definitely.
yeah.
And I feel like the palette came, timing's massive.
Yes. Yeah.
It came at just the right point because brands had highlighters,
Yeah.
but it was one or two shades
But
or individuals. You
Yeah.
didn't have, as
An
a
actual
professional, we have all different types of skin colours and tones coming in, and we
That-
need that
Yeah.
professional.
That was probably why I was against it, because no one else had one. So being on the safe side. Now, as we've, that was a year and a half into our journey as entrepreneurs of having a product company.
Yeah.
So putting that much money into something was a huge gamble for
Yeah,
us.
a huge risk.
And also, no one was working, so we were releasing products, trying to grow a business while no one was working, and maybe taking a risk that no one else would have
Oh my
taken.
God,
yeah,
yeah.
and nobody were using them.
No, well, weirdly enough,
shouldn't
they
have
were.
been using 'em.
And that was why I was a very but she wore me down. She kept going on about it, so I
Well,
was
good for Gigi.
yeah. So I said, "There's the bounce back loan." We had a whole year, obviously, with no interest,
Yeah.
and then it was fixed, and and that's been a tale of that story for whole of Buff Browz. Like we've just
Wow.
invested very aggressively
Yeah,
for a small company. We've never taken finance, apart from bounce back loans, but we've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
taken finance.
that's really
And
good.
we've just invested everything into it, and we still I'm far from having it off. I'm really not having it off. Maybe if I started, maybe not invested, but we are really on a journey to invest everything we've got. And I always say to Ellie, which is a terrible thing to say, but either I'm going to go broke or the company's going to be really, really big. So we're in that mind frame of just doing it, and we've always done that, and we've always
Yeah.
made it work. So
Yeah.
we're going to continue to keep going like that.
Yeah, and it's working.
Yeah. It is working. And I feel like there's always new products. There's always something new. There's always we'll get onto community later on, but community events or an event like where we are, there's always something. It's not like you've got some products and then you kind of go a bit silent. Buff Browz is always
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
and popping up.
Yeah.
it is.
Every time I open Instagram, to
And
be
I
precise.
feel like I feel like it's scary. I remember the first time that I saw Buff Browz actually, and I saw it online, and I thought, I like that pen. I'm going to order that, and I ordered it, and
Yeah.
never looked back.
Still
since.
use them now.
You just don't, you don't order now though.
Oh no, I don't. I just ask you if you've got any on you.
Have you brought any today?
Have you
No,
got
no,
any?
no.
Oh, Harry.
This was the
I
perfect
wanted-
time.
I
I
know.
wanted him to bring some brownie fine.
But the problem with that, actually, I thought about that. We're actually out of stock, so that is an issue.
it's because we've got them all.
Yes, yeah.
I need to use sparingly. I think I'm down to my last two.
If you are listening and you have not got a brow definer, are you even in industry? What's going on? You need to get one, honestly.
Yeah.
Life changing.
Life changing.
Yeah.
But we'll get back onto both and kind of what's going on and everything in a little bit. But I want to get on to the fundamentals of scaling. So obviously we wanted Harry to be our guest today because Buff in the scale from going from 2020 to now, I feel like Buff has had such a huge growth and it's just kind of exploding. So you were the perfect guest to come on and
Amazing.
talk about scaling. I know you don't do treatments as such, but you're working with the products, you in the industry, working with these people. And so I just want to break it down. What does scaling actually mean in the beauty industry? What would you say?
So we're talking about treatments. It could be adding a more luxury treatment. So maybe you're getting more money for your time. Could be definitely training, whether that's physical training or online training.
Yeah.
Definitely retail products for the benefit of the customer. So if it enhances the result
Yeah.
and the longevity of the result, then that's a must.
Yeah.
If you're selling an aftercare product that is absolutely rubbish, just to make a bit more money from your customers, then that's a no-no, of course. But and then potentially online training. But 4 years ago, that was easier. I do feel like potentially it's just I don't know. You have to have a big profile to be doing stuff like that and make it a success.
Yeah.
You can't just come on the scene, put an online training course, and go for it.
I think there's a lot more competition now when it comes to online training.
Definitely,
or independent. Like back in the day when we trained, there were only kind of the big brands to train with.
Yeah.
That was it. Where
Getting it
now,
all in person.
yeah, obviously online training's great. I do one-to-one training. You do. That's great. But it is a bit at the minute in the industry that training is so accessible everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Like unless you've got a very distinct like style or
Yeah.
technique that's going to draw people in, or the big followers, you might find it tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that case of having the online course and then building your profile up and trying to find trends and stuff. But that is a huge gamble.
Yeah.
That might not pay off.
So with beauty professionals, some obviously hit like an income ceiling. So what do you think the biggest struggles of people being able to grow are?
Well, time. Definitely time.
Yeah.
Going into those high-end treatments and getting more for your money is great, but it becomes with more stresses. You have to really realise what do you want out of life. You know, scaling, employing people to maybe start earning a little bit more money or getting a salon comes with huge expectations, a lot more stress.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want? I'm always when I talk to people, like, do you really want this? Because once you get something, did you actually want that? It becomes, sometimes I could be like that. I'm like, I really want this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh no, now I've got to actually do it. And then you've got other mouths to feed.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that because I've spoke to a lot of people who, you know, I admire and look up to and stuff. And I'm like, oh, do you have a salon? And they're like, oh no, I'll let that go.
Yes.
I mean, I know this sounds awful because you've
I know, and I'm sat here like recently just signed an open doors, and these two are like, yeah, I don't have a salon. Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I have got a salon, but a lot of people are like, yeah, best thing I did was let my salon go.
Do you know what? I do think though, because of lockdown, a lot of people let their salons go or had to.
Yeah.
And there was a rise in home salons.
Yes, like cabins at the bottom of the garden or
I
whatever.
do think it's going to do a flip at some point.
Yeah.
Now, there's stuff in place, obviously, in order to work from home and have these things, but it's not 100% nailed down.
Yeah.
And I think soon they're going to cotton on to everybody working from home or doing these things.
Oh yeah, the government will find
They
something.
will
It
put,
will
they'll
eventually,
put
and I
some
think-
regulations in place where
Yeah,
you can't do it.
that'll push, and I do think it'll do a flip.
Yeah.
Or I'm just saying that because I've just got a salon and I
Yeah.
I can't afford to go
Everybody
under.
go to a salon.
But I think as well, like when it comes to shifting your mindset, it's not that kind of like, I hate when you speak to people and they'll say, oh, just do brows.
Oh, yeah,
Or
no.
just do lashes.
Oh, she
or
just
like
does, she just does beauty.
they'll, they almost see it as like a side hustle.
Yeah.
They might do it alongside another job, and it's like, no, this is
Yeah. I'm in the industry.
a
like,
valid
yeah.
career path.
100%.
A valid industry. Like, it's so big.
And it's only going to grow.
Yeah.
Like, I look at Ellie that works for me now. I was talking to her mum about this. She's going to continue to get treatments at 50. Her mum's 50. She's not getting treatments like she's getting. Now, all the women that are getting treatments now are going to continue to get treatments. Like, it's a necessity to get your lashes done now. It's not, oh, I might get my lashes done. Like, some women or men will have to get their treatments done or they will not leave the house. Now, that means that the younger generation are going to be the same.
Yeah.
So it's, in my opinion, it's going to keep growing.
Yeah, because
A
as well,
lot.
I think obviously kids look up to what their mum's done as well.
Yeah.
My mum's always kept like prepped and like perfect. She's 69 and still has treatments all the time.
Yeah.
So, you follow suit, don't you?
It's this kind of like when you look at the celebrities like J-Lo
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
her age.
Crazy.
Like, but it used to be where like you'd grow old gracefully,
Yeah.
Oh,
which some people still do, and that's fine. But I feel like people are looking at all these celebrities now who are having stuff done, or like whether it's keeping on top of skincare, lashes,
100%.
brows, and it's almost like people don't look their age anymore.
Also, men are coming into it a lot more.
Oh, God,
You know,
yeah.
skin boosters, fillers,
Polynucleotide.
yeah.
She's right here.
Yeah.
She's a reason for me looking this good.
Me. Thank you, darling. A bit of salmon sperm round the eyes is always good.
does wonders.
It does, honestly. It really
I
does.
haven't tried that one.
Okay, so we want to talk about expanding your revenue streams. So what do you think, Harry, is the most effective way for beauty professionals to expand their income?
I would actually say if you can save on some time in areas, this is key. Now, when me and Georgie started doing treatments, no one had a booking system when Georgie was doing treatments. And I was like, what? Because you would get back to them. If you didn't get back to them instantly, you say, yeah, that's free, that appointment.
Yeah.
They get back to you 2 hours later, someone else is asking for it. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So maybe not expanding on revenue streams or being able to save money and save time in areas and and ultimately saving time and getting that booking quicker, you have to have a booking system.
We
say
scream
this.
from the rooftops about
Like,
booking systems,
booking
don't we?
systems.
Even if you're doing 3 clients a week, you should have a booking system.
Yeah.
It stops that
Yeah.
conflict of them going to book and then where's the booking system? And they don't
Yeah.
really want to talk to people. They just want
Yeah.
to book.
And it is a nightmare when people are inboxing you and you're
they're
trying
like,
to
oh, can I book in
reply
on Friday? So you'll reply, oh, I can do like 10 a.m. or 3.
Yeah.
Can I come at 6? Well, no, otherwise I would have said
No.
6, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like,
And
it just
customers.
saves you time.
Yeah, customers are
my
annoying.
I think as well, like many beauty professionals, they're nervous about selling like retail products and stuff online. So how can they like overcome that fear? Almost like you did when you overcome your fear of like bringing out the palette. How can they overcome their fear of like selling and promoting retail products?
Well, you don't have to buy a lot of these products. So you don't have to have a lot of your money tied up in these products. So, and if you use the product yourself,
Yeah.
you're not losing. So what? For me,
I
again,
always
it doesn't
say this,
make.
yeah.
If you swear by that product,
Yeah.
what's the issue?
I-
If you're trying to scam people, then fair enough.
Yeah.
I've always said that like the products in my salon that I sell the most of are what I use.
Yeah. So if you
'Cause
don't
people-
sell them, you'll
yeah,
use.
because people
Yeah.
are like, oh, what have you got on your brows? And then you're like, well, this, and they're like, oh yeah.
And
I'll
I
buy
actually
that.
think that market side, actually 5 years ago, might not have been that big retail for the technician or the practitioner to give it to people. That's only going to get better because
Yeah.
people want that aftercare, like you're talking about the skincare. It's, you know, you do your skincare every day. Why are you not doing your brow care every day?
Yeah.
And it's that, like, obviously you've got like Amazon Prime and everything is so fast.
Yeah.
And people want it now that if you've got that product in salon, they're going to get it from you before it. Oh, I'd order it online and get next day delivery, but
Yeah.
It's like your dentist saying you must use this toothpaste. Why are they selling that to? But yes, it's because you might have some sort of sensitive issue.
yeah.
But you will buy it. You probably trust your dentist, and if you've got your brow artist that you go to every week, their trust is huge. So
Yeah.
you would trust them.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it about
Yeah.
dentists. You would, wouldn't you?
You can
If
have
they
that
said
one.
you need to use this toothpaste, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But to be fair, doctors said you used to have to, if you smoke, you must use these cigarettes back in the 50s or the 60s.
Oh, did they?
So maybe not believe all of them.
And do you have any advice for anybody who is looking into kind of like getting their own product range or
Yeah.
products for their clients?
I think selling products, you have to have a lot of products. You have to obviously have minimum order quantities. You got
Yeah.
a lot of money into it. So I think if you're an artist who's, you know, not even comfortable selling retail products, you do not want to bring out your own line.
Yeah.
Don't you know, start slowly,
Yeah.
and that will take up a lot of your cash.
And MOQs, you're looking at like hundreds of thousands.
Yes,
And
potentially. You know,
obviously, the higher the MOQ, the smaller price you get it
Yep.
for. But if you're not that big, and then you're trying to, it can all just be.
the factories won't even touch it.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
wasting their time. So don't, you know, you can, I deal with, you know, a few European factories now because we try and get the serums and stuff from Europe because the quality's better.
Yeah.
I had a Zoom with one of them the other day, and he was saying they get 95% of the people that send in customer forms, they don't even respond to because they go on their website and they're not going to waste their time.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's because Browz is, I think 5 years ago, it's probably easier to release products
Yeah.
because it was a new industry, but these factories are even bigger now and
Yeah.
they've got their clients.
Yeah.
They
There's
would
so many
rather
products,
sell
yeah.
to the bigger brands because you're ordering tens, 20,000
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
sell to someone who might want to
Yeah.
bring out something.
So obviously when it comes to scaling a strong brand, it makes it easier when you're scaling. So what are the key elements of a strong beauty brand, do you think?
Telling the story, which sometimes I feel like we could do that better.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, I don't like putting my story to the face, but I do believe that's really key. It's not just a logo,
Yeah.
you know, and the community side is so key.
Yeah.
You can have a community just if you're an artist.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can maybe take your top 20 clients out for dinner,
Yeah.
create I haven't seen anyone do this yet, by the way. For someone who, you know,
Exclusive.
You should
but
not
like
be saying
if,
this.
if I was a brow artist and I had 20 customers that generated me a lot of money, then I
Yeah.
would potentially do an event for them, ask them to invite 2 people, and then you could maybe introduce your junior brow artist at that point.
That's
So
nice.
now that's what I would do
Mm-hmm.
to grow.
Okay, my
Like
my
that
brain's ticking
idea.
here.
Like
I've
that.
just instantly thought of 10 people.
Yeah.
I like that, man. I
Who's-
will say that like Buff Browz are. There's a lot of big brands out there, but Buff Browz you do always feel like a personal brand. Without obviously you sponsoring us and stuff, you do feel like a personal brand that you do appreciate, like your customers and your techs and things like that.
Yes.
You do, and
Yes.
you do always still like feel like you're connected.
Yes,
with them.
so Ellie heads up the Elite Tech team.
Mm-hmm.
I started the Elite Tech team for cosmetic supplies, and the whole point was the Gymshark model athletes, the
Right.
professional athletes. I
Yeah.
loved that, and I remember sitting on a plane coming back from me and Georgie one holiday, and I had my book and I was writing down what I was going to do this, and then all the girls or all the people that I listed, all the boys, were people that I would go out for dinner with,
Yeah.
and that I would actually spend time with
And get on with
So
you.
I said to Ellie when she come on board that we're going to do this. The girls that you choose, following doesn't matter. The content does, because we want to see them doing new stuff. But also, would she go out for dinner with them, and would they be, ultimately create friendship? And so keeping up appearances is easy.
Yeah.
It's not fake, and that I hope that comes across with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Does it really does?
And social media is obviously like such a huge thing that people can use in order to grow. But a lot of beauty professionals struggle
Yeah.
with social.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, I feel like this is where we need to insert Ellie.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of like tips when it comes to people just wanting to push themselves more on social?
Yeah, I the content I like to see is some macro lens stuff. The really educational stuff, the before and afters, the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see. I did tell Georgie, more. When you bring them in and have a consultation, can you have more maybe of the footage of you talking to them about how you're going to bring their results to, especially new customers.
Yeah.
And then having that journey. Obviously, with brow maintenance and lash, you're seeing them every 4-6 weeks, right? So once you've kind of got them, you've got them.
Yeah.
Say with PMU, that's different. It's 3 years, 2 years, so it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
actually, social media for brow and lash is important as maybe a gallery in showcasing your knowledge, but it's not the be all and end all. I do think local flyers and maybe teaming up with local hairdressers, like I will send you customers, you send me customers, is more. But that's hard graft, which some people don't want to go and network, and I think that's more important.
And
Yeah.
I've said on the podcast before, you've got to look at social and think, what do I want from it?
Yeah.
If I want clients, social is probably not the best. You want to be on something like Facebook,
Yeah.
where you've got the
Groups.
Facebook groups
Yeah.
and all the mums
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
locals, or do, like you said, flyers, events, because you're attracting people who are close enough to travel for a treatment.
Yeah.
If you want to put yourself out there as a persona or a brand or a personality, go for social, because
Yeah.
you've got the whole world
Yeah.
that you could tap
And
into.
it goes back to, what do you want?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want to be, build a profile for yourself and then maybe sell online course? Then you're going to have to take social serious. But you're going to have to post every day. Content's going to have to be a lot of energy into that content.
Yeah.
So, always assessing what do you want from
Yeah.
it.
And what do you think that like there is the most common mistakes in like marketing that beauty professionals make? Go on, you can see Harry.
I think fixating over trends,
Yeah.
definitely can have. It's hard to say, because if you're one of the first, but then you can look a bit silly if you're getting on and pushing this thing, and everyone's like, "What is that? Doesn't make no
Yeah,
sense."
if it doesn't
Like,
catch on.
Yeah, but I think. Who am I to say what works and what doesn't with trends? Because you don't know how a trend's going to be played out. I was totally against lip blush. I was like, no way. When I was speaking to Tina Davis, like, no way is this going to work. Like, blah blah. Like, and it did. So now when trends come along, I'm like, I'm not saying nothing because
I've booked in for mine.
yeah,
so don't be
yeah. But
saying
this was they were talking to me back in 2018.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was a different stage. They had like this lip gloss that you'd put on to do the colour, then they'd take it off, tattoo, and it was like a stages. It was completely different to what it is now. And God, like it's So I think that could be a mistake. Social, and then going away from your social media and then coming back, but that puts you under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And little things, commenting back to people, commenting on other people's, just being honest. But all of this takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. So some trends still, tried them, never taken off, and yeah, I spent money on the equipment or whatever it is, but because I enjoy content and social, I made a reel. It got me a lot of traction. But I almost knew at that point it wasn't right for me. So I just moved on to the next.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
And went
because
back to...
sometimes when he do, I'll let you try it first, and I think if it works for him, I'll do it.
If he likes it, then I do.
I thought I'm not investing anything until I've seen something.
Yeah,
come
I'll wait
from
till
this.
he's done. I wait till he's spent his
But
money.
he won't be doing that when he's got a salon. When you open that salon.
And you know I'm tight, guys. I've got money. I just don't like spending it. But brand. Oh, we've done brand and marketing, haven't we?
Yeah, love. Brand 4.
4, wow.
Go on.
So, future-proofing your business because nobody wants to go bust.
They absolutely don't, do they? If you don't know what bust means, because we're Yorkshire, it's bankrupt.
Yes. So many beauty businesses struggle with like client retention and ensuring that they've got that turnover. And we spoke about client retention in a previous episode and how you can build that relationship with them because, as Amfaka says, those loyal clients are your bread and butter.
They are.
Yes.
If you look after them and you nurture them and you know that Linda's coming in every 4 weeks for toes, nails, brows and lashes, you can pretty much guarantee that you've got that income every month.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like client retention, is there anything, Harry, that you've seen in the industry or you've heard of that is good for keeping them?
I'm surprised that people do struggle with client retention because if they are, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because the girls that I speak to aren't struggling with that. So you need to have a deep look at yourself.
Yeah.
Why am I struggling?
Yeah.
You know, are you getting the wrong clients through the door? Are you discounting the product to get the cheap customers through the door that aren't going to come back? Or you want the customers that want to take it seriously with the aftercare and stuff? Is your aftercare not, you need to let them know exactly how to do aftercare. Like if you don't do this, your brows or lashes or whatever might not be how you are. And so I'm struggling. Like it's easy. There's that saying. It's easy to get a new customer. It's hard to keep them because once they've had the treatment or the product, we very lucky at Buff Browz. I always, that's the biggest thing. I look at those metrics all the time. So our return rate's like 50%, but we're also getting more customers. But client retention for brows and lashes, I would like to think you're up to 75% plus, surely.
And I think as well, like when a client comes in, if it's for the first time, you've got to treat them with such, you've got to put so much into it that you're wanting them to come back. So 100%. You've got to make it the best that you can. This might be a client that you've had. I've had clients. I've still got some clients now that I've had since I was 16. So I've had them 18 years. I've just told you my age.
I don't know. I don't know about the softwares that people are using, like maybe Timely or these other software, plugging it. I'm not getting nothing for that.
We don't either.
But is there a way of sending the after the appointment, and if it's a first appointment, is there a way of sending them an aftercare packet of like an email to showcase what they need to be doing, and at the bottom putting a discount code for their next appointment?
Yeah.
Now, sure, I think if someone buys from you 2 or 3 times, you've got them.
Yeah.
You've really got them.
Yeah.
So focusing on, maybe focus less on getting new customers and focus more energy on keeping your current customers.
On the ones you've got.
Because without that, don't even bother scaling.
Yeah. I saw a quote yesterday actually that said, if you want to attract new clients, concentrate on the ones that you have.
Yeah. And they will sell it for you. The happy customers, like we spoke about getting more people in the room, they will sing your praises from the roof. Like if someone has a good mechanic, a good painter, a good electrician, a good brow artist, you'll know about it because they will tell you.
Yeah.
So, just keep those 20 people, keep 20 people happy. They will be your bread and butter, and they will promote you like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like a lot of people I've noticed are maybe going like a week longer.
Yeah.
Or they're still regular clients, but they might just try push it that little bit longer.
Yeah.
But you need to not see that as a negative. You need to see that as that's opening space for you to work on getting new clients in and building that relationship with them.
Yeah.
But you could create a flow on these booking systems. If someone doesn't come back in 8 weeks, you can hit them with something or just remind them it's been this long. They might not realise. God, I get my hair cut and I try to go for 2 weeks. I go into, I was like, when's the last time I got my haircut? He's like, yeah, about 5 weeks ago. You forget, time just flies.
Yeah.
And your customers are busy people. So
Yeah.
hitting them, using the softwares as much as you can to
Yeah.
do all the admin so you can scale. So you haven't got to worry
Yeah.
about
And
that.
we spoke about this in a previous episode, but that episode hasn't been released yet, so that's no
Oh.
shame on you, Harry, because it's not even out for people to listen to. But
minds.
we were talking about the email flows and everything like
Wow.
that you can set up on your booking
Yeah.
systems. Yes, it takes time. Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare to set up, but once you've done it,
It's going to be so worth it.
it's,
Yeah,
plain
what's
sailing.
that? There's that labour intense, but once you've done it, you ain't got to do it again.
Yes.
You might refresh it every 6 months. Do it at
Yeah.
Christmas when
Yeah.
you've got no time.
Yeah.
You sit in.
I mean, how important do you think that education and like skill development is?
Yes, I think very important, but also important is doing the actual job and getting hands-on experience. Education is key. There's a lot of education now. Actually, good thing, and you can really filter out and find the best education for your money when, years ago there was only so many people
Yeah.
doing it. There's loads of doing it, and there's a lot of free education now.
Mhm.
So you don't necessarily need to be paying. Why can't you go on YouTube? The problem with YouTube is you could potentially get a lot of misinformation, of course. But if you're knowledgeable and you don't just listen to one person and
Yeah.
open your mind, you will start to work out. And actually, what they're saying might not be wrong, but they might, the product, the TGA or the system might not work with that said product. So there's a lot to it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if you're wanting to get hands-on training where there's any type of like qualification or certification at the end, there's so many people now. But if you've been in the industry, you understand what you're doing and the products, like you said, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, there's so much that I see and I think, I'm going to try that. And obviously I know that responsibility is on me and I need to understand what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
when you're in it and you've got a good understanding of your products, that's how you as well going to grow, is trialing and testing new stuff.
Yeah,
like
you need
once
to
as
know
soon
it.
as you're comfortable,
Yeah.
you're not growing.
You need
Yeah.
to know it inside out, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest red flags are to show that a business is not built to scale?
Well, you're doing all the work and you have no time already, then you can't scale.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out, if you want more money but you're flat out,
Yeah.
then I would look at it like this. Now I've not put my prices up in a year or two. If I put my price up by 20%, so let's say it goes from £50 to £60, how many customers
Yeah.
would I lose? 20% is a big jump. Okay, so you could do 10%.
Yeah.
Now, would you lose 20% of your overall customers? Probably not. Not if you've had the same ones for a long, long time. So ultimately, you might lose 5%, but that frees up another 5% space for new customers
Yeah.
who are on a waiting list.
Yeah.
Potentially, if they're on
Yeah.
a waiting list. So, a red flag, obviously, going back, if you've got no time.
Yeah.
And really sit down with yourself. And if you've got kids and you've got a husband or you've got family, what do you want out of work? Because in England or in the UK, sometimes, it's all about work. In other
Yeah,
it is.
countries, people just work to live, but
Yeah.
we don't over here. And sometimes that can be toxic.
Yeah.
I'm very, that's something
think-
that I try and work on.
Yeah, I think that does it massively. Sometimes you need to take a step away from your job and think, am I just working to live? And people just see it as work. I think it's massively important to love and enjoy what you do.
Yes.
And if there are treatments, I stopped doing this last year. There were certain treatments in my salon that I dreaded doing and I didn't like doing them. So I don't do
Get
them.
rid of them. Cut them loose.
I got rid of them
Yeah.
because I thought even the result after, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I don't do them anymore. You've
Being-
got to love what you do and be passionate and be able to sell it.
Being in a creative industry, you have to have the passion. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't, people will see through that.
Yeah,
It shows.
And you can't lie.
so much.
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared to say, when people come in salon and ask if I do that treatment, I'm not scared to say no. I don't. It's just not for me. I didn't enjoy doing
Bit of
it. And people are like,
personality.
why? I'm like, I just didn't enjoy doing it. So I don't want to sell anything that I don't enjoy or like. So.
And that's that.
And that is that.
But we're going to do... That has flown by,
It
but
has.
we're going to do a bit of a roundup of some key points that we've covered this episode. So, scaling isn't just about getting busier. You're not going to grow just by taking on more and more clients and working more and more hours. You need to look at like creating structure, multiple revenue streams, and a brand that lasts. Like, you need to look at it as a whole, not just think, I'm going to extend all my days by 2 hours.
Yeah. I'd be dead.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Saving time, getting softwares in place.
Yeah.
To free up time.
Yeah.
And you can have your phone, and money just comes in for deposits. Wow.
So Harry, have you got any final words or any like piece of advice for people wanting to scale?
Yeah, be kind to yourself, be consistent, and if something doesn't work and you've given it all, don't be afraid to drop it and look at something else.
Like that. Go on.
Where can people connect with you?
God.
I know you don't really do Instagram because
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the last episode of last season. We were talking all about the fantastic, the amazing, the talented, the beautiful Gigi.
Yeah.
See comments on our stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say him then. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm always talking about it.
Like, she's like, babes,
Yeah,
love you
yeah,
too.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think you have ever once.
I've commented on your. I have commented.
Have you?
Yeah, when
Oh,
you were
yeah, he
talking
has.
about the Browder finals, I commented.
Yeah, he did.
Georgie sent it to me. I said.
Yeah,
So-
but it had to be sent to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. But I've actually turned my profile off private, and I did a collab post, and I'm going to the Netherlands tomorrow to look at warehouses in the EU to open up one over there. So, and we're going to be doing. It's so cringy. I find this stuff cringy. Ellie's coming to like vlog the day, but like not a serious vlog.
Yeah.
Like a real whatever. But so I will start putting more, but I don't feel like I have much. And I just think, why would people care? But
I think it's great because there's.
People are so nosy.
Yeah.
You're a straight man in the industry.
Yeah.
You'd have, like,
So
behind
rare.
this big, huge brand. People are so nosy. And you all know what I'm talking about because you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
You want to see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't want to ever come across with the wrong image.
I think.
And I'm very, I don't know. Obviously, we have Laura now.
Yeah.
I'm a publicist, apparently.
Our
Did you
publicist.
Where did you get your publicist, Larry?
I've met her at an awards show,
Did
and
you?
but she's been telling me to do LinkedIn. I will do more, but I ain't got the time.
Yeah.
I'm so like.
I know where you're coming from with the social because when Jamie told us, right, we need to film video, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't have my face out there.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, you can. Jamie loves it. I hate it. But these things you have to do.
Georgie and Ellie, like I actually been telling Ellie to do more with her profile. They're the looks of the brand, and then I'm just in the background picking up boxes, doing all the stuff that no one wants.
But I think
But
it's
that's
so.
what, like, I would probably find, sorry Ellie, sorry Gigi, I would probably find your content of you being in the background doing all the stuff
But when you're so
more
busy.
entertaining than what I would,
Yeah.
because my feed, because of the people I follow, is flooded with beauty treatments.
Yeah.
So if you came up with this funny video, it'd probably make me stop scrolling and watch it.
Yeah.
We are going to do more. I am going to do more. Definitely do more, because also I want to use it differently for opportunities. Say if someone, I don't know, like has a brand, they want investment, they can come directly to me.
Yeah.
So because I will be looking to invest in other brands, and
Yeah.
we've got building the network so we can take more brands on.
Yeah.
But for the minute, when we're doing more now, which is great, but it's still the same person when I was doing not a lot. So it's still just every day doing the same
I
shit.
think having a straight man in the there's a lot of straight men in the hair industry, but having a straight man in the beauty industry is so like rare. You might set off a trend, Harry.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope so, because maybe then I'll meet my husband.
So I'm going back. I feel like we've got off on a massive.
Instagram.
Go on,
tangent Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. Harry.
And are you accepting followers? You don't have to say it if you don't want.
It's public.
Go on.
now. Public.
And what is it?
He don't
Harry
know.
_Dalton, I think. Harry Dalton.
We'll tag him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see. We'll do some collab posts on.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow Buff Browz on Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok.
YouTube soon. Oh yeah,
YouTube.
free training coming on YouTube very, very soon.
I mean,
We don't need to make money from training, online training, so it'd be free. more products we sell, the more buy more products, the more free training we can do.
Hey! Do we have a discount code to give them? Because we usually do.
Yes.
But
What is it?
Do you know it?
Do you know it?
Yes. Yours is one of the main ones that gets used, by the way.
Yeah, don't surprise.
Thank you.
Maybe WTP 50.
I think
That's what
it
he's
is.
just said.
If you watch on YouTube, it is on the opening
I
credits.
thought it were Pluckers 15.
No, that were last season.
All right, okay.
Well, if-
Whatever he said, he
But-
owns it.
Yours is used the most out of any other affiliate.
Thank you.
By the way, I've actually been really impressed.
Thank
because you get
Welcome.
15%, they get 10. Use the other ones.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, this chaotic episode.
And this season.
And this season.
Yeah.
What a fantastic way to go out. We are going to get a drink.
And we're going to have a little break.
We're
Don't
gonna
come
get-
at us in his inbox saying, when are you coming back? When are you doing season 9? We're
Whenever
doing it.
we
It's
want
pending.
to.
It's pending.
I've just got a salon.
Jesus.
She's busy. We'll be back when we're back. All
We will be
right?
back very soon, though. Don't worry.
No, we will. Harry, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you,
being our
Harry.
one and only guest of the
Yeah.
season.
I love that.
Do you feel
Yeah.
honoured?
I do, and that was what made me nervous because I didn't realise that.
We saved the best till last, Harry.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Depends how you look at it.
Maybe this ruins your retention rate. This episode.
Right, guys, we will see you very soon. Stay tuned on our social media, as that's where we will be announcing our return to podcasting.
And remember to always stay booked, busy,
And
and blessed. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Done.